overview of the sample documents. Okay, and the functionality of the sample document we have discussed about that one. Okay, so now, so these are the steps, the overview which I have already given here. So this is the sample document, is a template where we are going to create and store in the system for future need purpose. Okay, for future need purpose, which we can use the same template for month-end provisions purpose. Okay, so now, so that what will happen? We should not miss any provision during the month-end. Even in that same way, you can also change the date and time. I mean, date as well as amounts also you can change, and also you can add the new provisions. You can also delete provisions which has been already stored in the existing template. That is what the functionality. I have already explained in detail about that one. Now let us perform the steps here. Okay, so now what I'm trying to do, first let me create the GL account, the rent GL account, telephone expenses GL account, and as well as salaries interest. Creation of the GL accounts for payable and outstanding expenses. For outstanding expenses, I remember the GL account which is already available in the system. So let's create the GL accounts for rent and telephone expenses. Okay. Now you people can tell me what is the series which I need to use for rent or telephone expenses, who are all joined, who are all there from the beginning. What is the series which I have to use? GL series. What is the number I have to use here? Hello, am I audible?
Four, yeah, yeah. Four series.
Exactly, Srikanth, you are right. See, the 4 series, how Srikanth said, because if I go to here, this is my chart of accounts, operational chart of accounts. You can see for liabilities is the series, for liabilities is the 1 series, assets is the 2 series, revenues are the 3 series, assets is the, sorry, expenses is the 4 series. Okay, now we have to use the salaries, rent and all others are which are related to 4 series. Okay, so we have to use 4 series to create the GL account. Okay, so now let me check in the system if there is any account which is already available. For rent account which is already available in the system, 400 122. Okay, so now 400 200, let me create in this series all the expense. Okay, with the template, let me create with the template 400 122. Second, let me admit the people. Okay, so now I'm just copying the GL account. So the rent account, rent which is already exist, telephone expenses, telephone expenses. So the rest parameters are the same. Okay, let it be the group GL, group chart of accounts related GL account, group number also let it be for expense tracking purpose. 10201 is the one. The next one, salaries and interest payable. Sorry, salaries account. Okay, rest parameters are the same. So now the next one is the rent interest. Interest payable. So now the GL accounts are ready. Okay, whatever the GL accounts are required. Now the GL accounts which we have created. Okay, rent, telephone, salaries, and interest. Okay, so now these are the GL accounts are ready. Okay, so the GL accounts are ready. Now outstanding expenses, we have to create the GL accounts for outstanding expenses. I believe the outstanding related GL account, I remember, which we have already created and we are using that. It is already in use. Okay, so now outstanding account 100,501, which is already there in the system. Okay, so now number ranges. Okay, number ranges for this one. Define number ranges. X2, the number ranges we have to define for sample documents. The same number range we need to check for even recurring documents also. I think X1 for recurring document. For sample document, we have to use X2. Okay, so how to check the number ranges? Okay, so there are two ways are there. Okay, go to FBN1. FBN1 is the transaction code. Fashion FBN1. So now give your company code. Just first to display. Okay, whether the X1 it is there or not. See, I believe X1 which is already there here. Okay, let me go up a bit. See, X1 is already created, but for our requirement would be X2. Okay, X2 also it is there. You can see here for X2 the number ranges which is already created for 24 financial year. So this is the series. Okay, so now no need to create any new number ranges. Just remember this one. In case if number ranges are not available, as you remember, we must have to create the number range. That is fine. Now, posting of the transactions by some. Okay, by doing the posting of the transactions. Posting of the transaction sample document. I'll put it how we can post the sample document. So now if I wanted to post any sample document, so the transaction code, that. Okay, so now let me show you in the path itself. FBN then -01. Let me go to here. Accounting, financial accounting, general ledger, document entry, reference documents. Let's go to the reference documents. You can see F-01 is the transaction code, sample document. Let's go to here. So the sample document, remember the scenario, I'm repeating again. Today, 4th of June, I'm creating the document and storing the document in the system, not posting. Okay, I will show you, because posting it will hit directly to your GL account. It will have financial impact, but storing it doesn't have any impact. Okay, so what I'm trying to do, I'm just creating a template document at this moment. The same document during the month end I will use for my month end provisions purpose. Okay, remember I'm repeating again. Okay, so now what I can do, so now expenses account will be debit, the accounting entry. Okay, then outstanding account. So all expenses which I'm going and creating as a debit. Okay, first let me select the rent account. Okay, rent. So now rent I want to pay around, let's say, the 45,000 rupees. Rent for rent provision. Okay, so now again I'll give 40. For rent we have already entered the amount. Then telephone expenses, enter. Okay, this one is a cost center is to be required since it is a cost object. Okay, remember. Let me give the cost center here. Okay, so now for telephone expenses, let's say which I have to pay 10,000 rupees every month end. Telephone expenses. Then 40, I'm adding another entry. Okay, so now the GL accounts, whatever we have created, now salaries account. Let me take this one. Salaries account. Same cost center has to be given here. Now salaries account, let's say, which I want to make is a 75,000 rupees. Salaries payable. Salaries payment. Okay, so the last one, what is the one is a interest payable. Payable, what is the GL account number? Copy to. So now interest, okay, cost center, interest payable, right? So interest payable, let's say we want to make the payment is a 12,500 as a interest. Let me give the cost center, interest. Okay, final entry would be the final. We have given all the expenses information. The final one is a credit entry would be outstanding expenses, outstanding one. So outstanding account, then enter. We don't know how much debit amount we have entered. System automatically it will calculate and it will show here. Enter 5,47,500 rupees, the total line items balance which we have entered. Okay, now let me display the sample document here. Now you can see here. Now if you wanted to see here, if you wanted to see the provisions for the month of, okay, so now what we can see here, so outstanding expenses. So we have already keyed the required information here. Okay, now if you wanted to display, click on this one, it will display the document overview. We can see here, display the document overview, which line item it consists of. Okay, one rent I have entered is a 4,50,000 rupees. That is what, it's a huge amount. Let me make it is a 45,000. Okay, so now its amount is a differing 4,05,000 rupees. Let me remove this one. Okay, now it has been appeared in a proper way. Now let me display this one. Now 1,42,500 rupees. Now see, always the debit and credit should be equal here. Okay, remember it should be 0 here. Okay, so now let me post to the document. Okay, I'm just, let me try to see. You can observe that the information what system is trying to say. Document 92999 was stored in the company code. Okay, now let me show you. Let me select this document 999, right? Select this document. Let us go and see if there is any document which has been created with this name, with this number series. Okay, 929. Let me copy this document. Sorry. Okay, let me copy this document. Let me open the new FB03. FB03. Okay, so the document which I have given company code also as financial year. Now you can see here. See, you can see here. Document 992 all lines, company code 2525 does not exist in physical year. So meaning that the document which was stored in the just okay for time being, but it's not posted any accounting entry in the system. So meaning that will not have any accounting impact. Remember, very very important one. Then these are all interview questions also. Okay, sometimes they may test your basic knowledge also. What is the sample document? What is the whole document? What is the park document? Okay, so now we have seen the document which is not yet posted in the system. Now let's go to during the the month end. Okay, so now the provisions, right? Okay, 30th of June. Let's go to F-02. Okay, what I will do, document, okay, post with reference. Okay, first let me change the, okay, first let me go to document. F-02 is the transaction code. Post with reference. Enter the document number. You just ignore the physical year. Either you can give, you don't give also. See now, what system is trying to allow us, you can also change the date here. Let's say the 31st of 06 2024. Here also 30th 06 2024. Then amount, okay, you can see 40 debit is the same. The expenses account, this is the sorry, this is the rent account. You can enter. Okay, so just a future date, system just giving the warning message since we are posting with the future data. Now first I have changed the document dates here. Okay, so now you can see the moment when I changed the date, you can see all the information which has derived by the system automatically without manual intervention. Now let's do the changes in the amount also. Instead of 45,000, let me do the adjustment here is a 50,000. Even you can also change the cost center, you can also change the rent provisions for the month of June 24. I'll enter. Then let's go here. Again, I can do the changes. Telephone expenses also. Telephone expenses, I can do some changes. 11,000. Telephone expenses for the month of June 24. You can do like this the changes. So meaning that what I'm trying to say here, you can also change the dates, but system will not allow you to change the company code and currency. Then you can change the amounts and document date, posting date also. Okay, now you can come back here. You can delete that, then enter so that the amount will get adjusted here in the last line. So now both my debit and credit both are same. Okay, so now interest for the month of June 24. Okay, you can update whatever you want. Then you can amounts, post it. See now the document to all zeros was posted in the company code, to all zeros. Okay, so now let us see whether this document which has been posted or not. FB03 to display the document here. Now you can see here the accounting document which has been posted here. You can see rent, telephone expenses, salaries, interest payable. Okay, all these debits 40, you can say 50 is the outstanding account. This is what how the sample document can be used. Okay, so now any query about the sample document? If anyone need any clarification, please let me know about the sample document.
So sample document is nothing but provisions.
Not exactly for template. Okay, see, not only for, see, if you have any repetitive work is there, so you can create sample document. Okay, and store it in the system. During the month end, you can call it and you can use it.
Okay, okay, I got it.
Okay, still anyone need any clarification? Okay, one second. This okay. So the similar functionality, whatever we have seen here, so the similar functionality even we can able to use in the real time environment also, and also, but this is more for business people. Okay, not for consulting point of view. But why I have explained here, whether that functionality which is working or not, we must have to aware of that one being as a consultant. Okay, so now this we have already seen. Then we have posted the sample documents. Okay, creation of the sample document is a transaction code is a F-01 F-02. Okay, so to display the document here, display the display document FV03 we have seen. Again, one more thing I would like to show you. Let's say again the sample document we have already used, right? To I mean 9 to all zeros 9. Okay, so now let's say I want to use the same sample document for the month of July month end. Okay, let's say that. Okay, let's go to here document, post with reference. It's still this document it is available. That is what I said. Okay, so now remember, don't confuse. See, still the document which is available in the system. So the repetitively you can use the same document, and also if there is any requirement, you can also add additional line items. Remember this one. Okay. So now 31st of July 2024. Okay. Let me add one line item. Okay. 31st of July 2024. Okay. I'm just adding here. Enter. See now future date. System just giving the warning message because of future. Now let me create one GL account. Okay. One more GL account for some. Let me create. I want to add one more. Okay. Deletion, it will be easy for us. Okay, so I'm just creating some expenses, some other expenses. Let me create, or I'll create office expenses. Okay, office expenses, which I have created here. Now, I would like to add one more entry, right? 40. Then what is my GL account? Here is a 400,203. Enter. What would be the amount? Let's add into the 1250 rupees. Cost center, office expenses for the month of July. July 24. Okay, so I have entered this amount. Enter. Overview. Okay, so now we have to adjust this one. This 1250 rupees I have to adjust. Go to outstanding account, the credit line item. Delete this one and enter star. Put it here so that it will get adjusted here. You can see now debit my credit both are in sync. So now let me post this document. Let me post this document. See now the document 2001 which has been posted, meaning that I have added one more line item. Okay, whatever I want. Okay, if you want to delete that line item, deletion it is easy. Okay, which is already exist in the your template. You can just go back and remove that one. That's it. You wanted to see B03. Now you can see it is posted on office expenses 1250 rupees, which is the additional amount. Additional line item has been posted as compared with the June provisions. Okay. So is that clear for all? Okay. Now let's move on to the next. The document type is the next one is a recurring document. Recurring document. So what does it mean by the recurring document? Now let's say, so what I have to do every month end, I wanted to do, I want to pay some rent. Okay, let's say the rent I want to pay, because it's a similar to the sample document only, but it has the different functionality. Okay, rent rent payable. Okay, there is a fixed amount which I wanted to pay is a 12,500 rupees. Let's assume 25,000 rupees which I have to pay as a monthly as a rent for every month. Okay, for this one, what I will do, I will create a template one document. Okay, this is also the template. Okay, the recurring document. But now from, let's say, what would be your period? Okay, so now rent payable, the rent which is applicable from, let's assume from 1st April 2024 to 31st March 2025. Okay, in between the period, we have to pay rent every month as a 25,000 rupees. So what I will do for the month of from, once I will create the template, okay, for this one, going forward, the system does not allow you to change the amount. Okay, so I'll put it the one the points here. The sample, the recurring document is a template for fixed, amount, for fixed amount payables. Okay, so now remember, once we once we create the recurring document, recurring documents, we can, system will not allow us to change the amounts, remember, be careful about this one. Okay, then so what will happen by using the existing template, by using the existing existing template, we can avoid the manual work. Okay, I just have given is a only one example. Okay, for the rent payable. Okay, so now we can avoid the manual work. Okay, I don't want to repeatedly, I don't want to perform that work, but the fixed amount, okay, the date, okay, once I fixed the date, then I will not change the document. Okay, then once I will create the sample document, I'll keep it store. Then I will execute the month end for payment related entry. Okay, that system will post that one. Okay, automatically system will post that one. That doesn't require any manual intervention. Okay, so for rent provision entry, right, what it is there? Okay. Okay. So now for rent provision, okay, rent payable, right? This is the expenses account will be debit. Okay, what will happen? Rent payable account is a debit. Okay, it's a expenses account. I would say here expenses account, expenses account. Okay, so expenses account. Now this is the debit expenses account. It is obviously, it is debit to outstanding, or else directly we can do this one directly cash or bank account. Okay, instead of taking the cash or bank account, so that it will be easy for us to understand. Okay, so now, okay, so now how this recurring document functionality we can able to perform into the system. Okay, so now the transaction code, the steps to be performed. Okay, steps to be performed, because to creation of the GL accounts, step number one, create the expenses GL accounts. Since the GL accounts which are already exist does not require to create anything. Remember, okay, we have already created. The second thing would be the second important thing here is the document type. Okay, so for this one, the document type which we have to use is a, I believe it's a EX1, the document type. Okay, so now document type for recurring document. Okay, then this is the FS00, this one is the FBN1. Okay, so the document type, I'll put it here, is a document type X1. Okay, X1 for recurring document. You can go back and check it. X1, I believe, which is already exist. Then number 3, create create a recurring document. Create a recurring document in the system. The transaction code, what would be the transaction code? Then it's a FBD1. FBD1. I will show you in the system. Okay, the steps first. Let me finish this one. Then once this will be completed, then what we can do? Then during the month end, what I can do? I can perform F dot 14. Execute the document. Recurring document. Okay, let's see what it is there. I remember the transaction codes and all. Okay. So now recurring document, this is fine. F dot 14. Where is that? The document. Reference document. Recurring document. Recurring document change I could see here. Okay, let me open this one. Okay, first let me complete the first one. Then after that we'll see that one. Okay, FBD1 for recurring document. FBD1. So now you can see enter the recurring document header text. Okay, first run on. Okay, first run on nothing but the date when what would be the period. Okay, so now 01. Remember, be careful here. 01/04 2024 to, okay, remember 2024 to the last run would be a 31st/03 2025. Okay, so until this period I want to have this recurring document intervals of the month. Okay, how frequently you are going to execute this function, either per month, every 2 months, every 3 months. What would be the frequency of this execution? Let me select per month. Okay, remember, be careful, all these things you must have to select. Okay, run date. If you want to select either, don't select anything, because some months, as you remember, we may have 30 days. Some months we may have even February 28, 29 days will be there. Don't select anything, that one. Then document type is a essay. Okay, reference, just forget, I mean, if you want, you can give anything. Document header text you can give. I would put it as a recurring document. Now, posting key. Okay, so now what I'm trying to do here, the expenses account, right? What I'm trying to do here, then okay. So now let me give here. First, expenses account will be debit. Okay, expenses account will be debit. Let me take for the rent account. Okay, okay, rent account. Then enter. Okay, just it's a okay. Now if you wanted to put, I will show you one more thing also, because only one example which I have chosen, right, for the month, I mean rent expenses. But let's say I have the similar expenses, a number of things. Okay, I'll show you another thing. Remember, go to go to GL item fast entry, click on this one, press enter. Second, let me come from the beginning so that it will be easy for you people to understand. FBD1. Okay, give the dates, the similar situation here. Then here also interval. Give the document type here. Don't give anything here. Then click on the GL fast entry. You can see here how system is allowing us to, okay, you can enter multiple things. Let me put first thing is a 40. Okay, 40. Let me select the GL account. Here is a rent account. Let me put the amount is a 25,000 rupees. Okay, so now if it is a cost center, you must, since it is a expenses related, you must have to key the cost center. That is a mandatory thing, otherwise system won't allow you. Now let me put it one more add. Let me add one more provision. Okay, fixed amount. You can add n number of provisions, right? Okay, interest payable. Interest will be the fixed amount only for every month end. Let's say the 5,500. Then add add the same cost center. Now add it. Now go to 50 your bank account, cash or bank account. Okay, cash or bank account. So now 25,000 plus, okay, 30,500. It will be the 30,500, the total amount which you are paying. Okay, this is what you can add the information. You can add like n number of provisions. Okay, n number of provisions here. Okay, once you are fine with this one, if you wanted to overview, display the document overview, you can display here. You can see always debit and credit should be equal. Let me post this one. You can see here again the information what system is trying to give. Document 91 all zeros was stored in the company code, meaning that it did not posted any document in the system. If you wanted to see, just select this document 91 all zeros. Okay, remember slash n fb03 to display the document here. See now, document does not exist in the company code 2525. Okay, so it is not yet posted or not yet created any document. It was just stored in the system. It was just stored in the system. Okay, so now now let's say to view. Okay, now if you wanted to see, the recurring documents, where you can see the display the recurring documents. Okay, slash n f dash 15 is the transaction code. Sorry, f dot 15. Sorry, f dot 15. Okay, give the company code 2525. You can see recurring entries. Just execute here. If you see now, these are the recurring documents which are posted. It is a one single document. Remember, this is the only one document. Okay, but line items are three line items are there here. Okay, so the document you can see here, this is a one document number, only one document number. How to display the recurring document? Okay, display recurring document f dot 15. Okay, so now the next one would be the next one to view a recurring document, then execution of the recurring document. Okay, payment, because see, I have made a provision. Okay, so now during the April month and April, from April to 31st of March, I have to pay this amount. Okay, I don't want to manual intervention. Okay, if I execute one transaction code, system has to perform postings. Okay, as of now there are no postings in the system. Okay, let me go to, okay, let me take this one only, slash n. Okay, f dot 14 is the transaction code. F dot 14, create postings documents for recurring document. Create posting, you can say create posting. I'll put it, posting of recurring document. Recurring document f dot 14 is the transaction code. Now let me do one thing. Let me give the company code 2525. Okay, so 2525. Remember, document type, if you want, you can give it. Now the next run date, remember the next run date is a 01/04 2024. Okay, from then 30th 30th/04/2024. So the first document which I have to post, because April already passed, May already passed, June, now we are in the month of June. Okay, let me post the documents until May. Okay, 31st of May 2024. Okay, I want to post the documents for until May. Okay, because April we already completed, May also we have completed. Now let's see. Okay, document number you have to give. If you have the multiple documents, ensure that one you have to give this document number. Okay, because if you have a multiple documents, again system won't confuse. Then you can give this one, give 2024. Then let me execute here. Okay, sorry, this one, what it will happen? Okay, session was created, but in case if you wanted to create the session, okay, I will show you this one. Okay, then let's say the 2525 recurring. Okay, then session already created. Let me create one more session if you want. Okay, session was created. So now 2525 session was created. Now let's go to the transaction code SM35. Let's go to the transaction code SM35. Now you can see here the session which has created. Okay, this is the previous session, this is the latest session. Okay, so session in SM35, once the session will be created, what you can do, you can go ahead and process. Okay, so now process in the sense, again you can see there are different types of process are there. Okay, process in foreground in the sense you can see what system is debiting, what system is crediting. Okay, display errors only. Okay, if you wanted to see the errors, you can select this one. But background means system will process in background. You may not see any documents. Okay, you may not see anything. System will process at back end. Okay, now let's process this one at foreground in the sense front end. We will see the transactions, okay, in front of us. Process this one. Now you can see, here 1/4/2024 recurring document 40. This is the rent related provision. Next run date 1/5/2024. Enter. Just it's a future. Now rent related is a 25,000 rupees. The rent. Enter. Enter. This is the entry for interest payable. Okay. Enter. 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 See now session completed. Okay. Now session has been completed successfully. Now no more session which is exist here. Okay. So now how can you display the documents? Let's go to FB03. FB03. Go to documents list here. Okay. Go to documents list here. Company code you have already given, right? So entry date or document date. Entry date, let's give here is a 04/06/2024. Entry date, let me give today's date. Let's see, let's display the documents here. Now you can see. So now these many recurring document, you can see these are the documents which are posted. Now let me display this one. You can see here. Okay, so now 25,000 rupees is for my rent. Interest payable is my, this is the accounting document which has been posted for the month of for 1/4/2000. Okay, so now that if I will show you one more thing, one more logic. You can also see here. Okay, so now you can see recurring entry document. What was the recurring document which we have posted? With reference to this document only, we have created this document into the system. But let us also see, I would like to see one more. I was expected one more entry also. Okay, because the date which I have given. Okay, so now the date I have given, the date range, right? So the date range I have given only one. Now let me give the date here is the, let me remove. Okay, let's see what it will happen. 30th 6 also, April, May. But what about the 113? It has been posted for April. Okay, let's display the documents. But it is posted only for the April. But what about the May? Even I have given 31st of May also. Okay, let me try to see whether it will post. It has posted. I doubt here. 2024. I think it will post only for every month. But let me execute this one. Okay, provision 2525 May has been created. Now let's try to go to /n SM35 is the okay. This is the entry which has been created for the month of May. Okay, so now I think we have to process front end also. Yes, 16. Oh, okay. Next, see now the document date is a 1/15/2024. Let me post this one. So session has been completed. Now let us see the. Now let's go back and see the document for the month of June also. Sorry, May also it should be exist now. Now yes, now you can see 1/5/2024. Okay, recurring document, and now it has been exist here. Okay, so now this is the document which has been posted for the month of May. Okay, now this is the functionality of the recurring document. So what will happen? See, once you enter the document, then in the recurring document, you cannot change the amounts here, first of all. Okay, but in sample document, you will change the amounts, whatever you want. Okay, so is that clear for all? If anyone need any clarification, please let me know about sample document or recurring document. Okay.
In short, actually, sample document is nothing but template, and the written document is the provision.
No. See, sample document also template, even recurring document also template. But the difference between both the documents are in sample document, while posting,
Sir,
you can
shall
do
I
the
say?
changes dates. One second, ma'am. 1 second. First, let me clarify. So, in sample document, you can change the dates and as well as amounts. But in the recurring document, you cannot. You can only change the dates, but you cannot change the amounts. Amounts will be fixed. Okay, until end of the period. Srikant, is that clear?
Yeah, got it.
Only
Yeah,
that
ma'am.
is the difference, no, sir. We can't edit or change, or else in sample we can change.
Exactly. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That is what from the beginning I'm trying to say. Yes, ma'am. Yes, you are true. Okay. So now any queries? Okay. So now Sanchit, any query from your end, or is it clear?
It is clear, sir. No queries.
Okay. Fine. No problem. Thank you. So now let us go with this one. Okay. So now we have seen. Okay. Let me enter additional things. Okay. So now sixth one, process batch input session is the transaction code SM35. Then the next one would be and display documents. Display the documents is a UB03, so that we will come to know when you have posted the document. Okay, so now the next one would be a what I'm going to explain here is a so now reversing a document. Okay, reversal of the document. Okay, so now month end provisions. Okay, so now let's explain about month end provisions. First, let's see the reversal of the document. Reversal of documents. Reversal of the documents. So now, what does it mean by the reversal? Okay, so there are n number of reversals are there. Okay, so now what will happen the moment when I posted a document? Okay, when I posted a document into the system. Okay, reversal also. Okay, the reversal document, even if I want to reversal, before going to reverse this one, what you need to understand, month-end provisions. Okay, so now first month-end provisions, as I have explained here, as part of month-end provisions also, the document will get reversed by automatically. Remember, very important one, month-end provisions in general ledger accounting. See, these month-end provisions which are related only for the GL account, only for the GL accounting, not for the others. Okay, remember. Then this and I'll have accounting entries for the expenses. Basic configuration. Okay, this is something different. Okay, fine, no problem. So the month-end provisions is a very important one. So now the month-end provisions. Okay, month-end provisions, I have different options. Okay, month-end provisions are two types. One is a number one. I'll put it here. Month-end provisions are two types. Okay, remember, be careful. I'm repeating again, very important one. And also interview question, accrual deferral, definitely they will ask you what is the difference between option number one. Okay, option number one, what I'm having is a accrual, and deferral, accrual and accrual and deferral. Okay, so now the okay, so now accrual and deferral option number one, what we are having. The second option number two, what we are having is a open item management. Open item management, option number two. Open item management. So we have these three provisions are there. So now, so accrual deferral. What does it mean by the first? Let us discuss about the accrual and deferral. Okay, so the concept of accrual and deferral, it will come into picture at the time of prepaid expenses, or I just give an example, expenses, prepaid expenses. So let's assume the scenario. So there is a legal expenses for legal advisory for them. Okay, we have to pay. There will be different plans, or else we'll think about internet plans. Okay, so if you pay the internet prepaid the amount, okay, for yearly, for annual subscription, there will be some additional benefits. Okay, now let's assume you have paid for annually. Okay, annually in one shot you made a payment for internet service provider. Then that is the expenses. Let's say you have deposited some amount with bank. Okay, that is a fixed deposit. The bank is going to repay the interest during the year, at the time of during the year end only. Okay, once in a year. But in these two cases, one expenses I took example, one another one which I have given example for income. One is expenses, one is revenue. Okay, internet expenses is a revenue. I mean expenses, interest is a revenue. In these two cases, both the scenarios which are happening once in a year, either it could be incoming or it could be outgoing. So if you show the amount, entire amount once in your, okay, while preparation of your financial statement towards the ending of the year, it will have a huge impact on your transaction. It will have a huge impact. Okay, see, we just took only one example, but now you can imagine in business, in every business organization, they may have n number of provisions, n number of prepaid expenses might be there, n number of interest, and there might be a different patients. Okay, incomings and outgoings. So you can show only once in the books of accounts what it will have, what it will impact on your organization. Impact in the sense, nothing impact. It will impact on your financial statements. So that is the reason what finance department will ask. The ask would be, you can divide that expenses. Either it could be expenses or it could be a revenue. You can divide that one into 12 months. Then you can book that for every month in your books of accounts. And okay, in tomorrow session, I will give the sufficient explanation. Okay, so that let me put something one here. So now first of, let's say the annual subscription for the internet expenses. Internet expenses, annual payment. Let's say the annual payment. So what it will happen, if you pay yearly, let's assume the scenario would be a 12,000 rupees, plus they will give one additional month service service. Then if you wanted to go bi-monthly, then what will happen? Then you have to bear, let's assume the bi-monthly charges. Here, let's say the 1200 rupees. Let's assume the scenario 1200. So it will be difficult. So for yearly charges as compared with this one, annual payment charges, I'll put it here is a annual payment charges. Okay, so now this is a bi-monthly, this is annual. So now we will think about always, okay, there are some amount which we are going to save, then we can go for the annual subscription. Okay, this is the interest expenses. Now I will also put it here is a interest from bank. Interest on fixed deposit. Interest on fixed deposit yearly. Okay, yearly, remember, yearly. Okay, let's assume we will get is a 25,000 rupees. I just took the some example so that in tomorrow session we will discuss about the accrual deferral functionality in detail. Okay, so if you, meanwhile, if you need any clarification, okay, so just please reach out to me. And one more thing, just be there. So now the configuration